Hi, I'm Ron with Amazing Mile Marker Stops. Come along with us as we look for amazing places for you to visit. All right, it's 6 o'clock in the morning. I just got up, just got Marie up, and we're getting underway. We have very limited weather window in the Chesapeake Bay, pretty much today. And then it turns real sour real fast. It was 25-mile winds last night, so we couldn't leave last night. But we're leaving in just a few minutes this morning in the dark. We're gonna drive through the night nonstop to get to the ICW in Norfolk by early tomorrow morning, because the weather turns sour again tomorrow. Today is the only day, and it's not a beautiful day today, but it's a tolerable day. And it's going to be another week before the weather's good, and we can't wait. We have to go south. So anyway, we're awake. We're gonna just get everything. We got everything ready last night to pull out. So all we have to do is untie the lines and go. So we're gonna eat breakfast after we pull out. Should be fun. Well, we're underway, and it's a beautiful sunrise that we're going into. So it makes it nice to watch since I'm still half asleep. But what the plan is we're shooting out to the shipping channel coming out of Baltimore. It runs all the way down to the mouth of the Chesapeake. It's dredged deep for the big ships, and both because it's deep and because it's a commercial shipping lane, the crab pots aren't there. So we feel safe that as long as we stay in that shipping lane, we'll have plenty of depth. We won't have to worry about running into crab pots. The only thing we have to keep an eye out for is other boats, and particularly the big ships, since we're in their lane. Of course, during the daytime, we'll be able to see them from a long way away. Come nighttime, we'll have our radar on, keep an eye on that, as well as a visual lookout, and hopefully we're going to be okay. So the plan is to make it to the lock at Dismal Swamp by tomorrow morning. It's 7:10 in the morning right now. It'd be great if we could get there in time for the first locking, but if not, we'll tie up and wait for the second locking and go on through and keep heading south. The weather is going to get real nasty starting tomorrow afternoon, and by Wednesday it's going to be 25 to 30 mile an hour winds. We do not want to be out on the Chesapeake during that kind of weather, and so that's why we're doing this in combination with, in the future someday we're going to do the loop someday soon, hopefully, and you have to cross the Gulf, and it's an overnighter. So there's times that we're going to have to cross places at nighttime. So I figured this would be good practice. You cannot travel at night in the ICW. So I figured let's take advantage of being in the Chesapeake. I'd already been thinking about doing an overnighter just for practice sake, and then the weather said, yep, you're doing an overnighter. So here we are. We'll see how it goes. when I was charting out our route to do this overnight through the Chesapeake, of course we want to stay in the shipping lanes where it's safe, but I got to this point on the chart where it's a restricted area. Apparently the Navy uses it for bombing practice, stuff like that, and you can't enter it at all between 1 o'clock and 5 o'clock. Can't be in there. Well, no matter how I sliced it, I wouldn't be able to get to it, through it, and out the other side before 1 o'clock today. And the only option they leave you is to go all the way to the west side of it. There's a very thin sliver of water before you hit the shallows that they let you go around it. And so it adds time to our trip. And you see here how we we're just going down the middle of Chesapeake, and all of a sudden the line veers off to the east, goes around the no entry, the restricted zone, and then veers back to the middle of the Chesapeake where I want to be, and then we continue on. So just one of the challenges you have sometimes when you're charting your course out. So we just had this catamaran type powerboat, painted haze gray and underway. I don't know if it was Navy, Army Corps of Engineers, or what. Marie looked it up, said it was some sort of hydro something or other. But it came out from way off yonder at flank speed and made a circle around us, cut right behind our stern, circled around the other side, and is going back to where it came from. So I don't know what that's about, but you know, unfortunately it always seems that the interesting things happen when all our cameras die, because their batteries all go off about the same time, and they had just gone off and I was in the midst of changing all the batteries out. I just started. In fact, I've changed the cards out on this round because we've been underway for about 10 hours at this point, and all the cards are getting full, so I have to change out the cards and the batteries, and that's when he decided to do that. So all I got was this footage on a camera that I had in my hand, and Marie got some footage, and okay, she just looked it up.
It was called a Bay Hydro 2.
Bay Hydro 2 is what it's called.
Class B. It was going 21.7 knots, and it's 17 meters by 7 meters.
It says it's a U.S. flagged vessel, and that's about the most it tells. Doesn't say who owns it. So that was interesting.
Yeah.
Another one of those mysteries.
Big difference.
Big difference. We're still alive.
Okay. Good.
Yay, we can keep going.
Yeah, I know you can't see anything. Maybe you can see the moon out there. A few lights in the horizon. This is our first nighttime traveling. So I don't know if you can see me or not. There you go. Except I can't see anything when I do that. So I gotta be quick. So that was a little nerve-wracking. It's 10:17 right now. It was around 10:15, maybe 10:10, something like that. Ron had left to go lay down only maybe 20 minutes ago or so, and I got held by a ship because we are in the shipping channel, and so I'm up here all by myself, and it's pitch black almost, and he requested that I move west, so I told him I would comply. And he did not have very many lights on him at all, but I could see him passing by, and of course I had moved out of his way. It's scary driving at night. Well, it's 12:30 in the morning, and I just finished my first shift of traveling at night by myself. Ron is up there now. I don't know why the engine is sounding so loud right now. It's pitch dark outside, and had a ship and about 3 tugs go by, and of course we're traveling in the shipping channel, but it all worked out fine, and I had to use the radio, which is not something I'm comfortable with, but it worked out fine. I'm supposed to be getting some sleep so I can relieve Ron in a couple hours. Actually, it's an hour and a half at this point, so I better hurry up and go get a little bit of sleep.
Okay, so I'm more than halfway through my first watch of my first overnighter. Apparently the key to a peaceful cruise, nighttime cruise, is to have me on the bridge. Because all night last night up until about 10 o'clock when I went to sleep, and Marie took the first watch, 10 to midnight watch, we didn't see a single boat, ship, or anything passing us. Everything was just quiet on the home front. And Marie says as soon as I went to bed, all of a sudden ships started hailing her, asking her to move over, and she passed, I don't know, 3 or 4 boats, and she had all the excitement. And I guess she handled like a pro, because I just slept right through it. I didn't know anything about it. And so I took over at midnight, and I haven't seen a thing since. Just been quiet again. Well, my shift is almost over, my first shift, midnight to 2, and I thought I'd be struggling to stay awake because I am not a nighttime person. Around 9 o'clock at night, I'm tired, I'm ready to go to bed, and I sleep right through the night. I don't wake up until the sun comes up, and as soon as daylight comes through the window, I'm awake and ready to go. So I thought I'd struggle trying to stay awake, but I haven't had a problem at all. I mean, there's lights on the horizon constantly, and you're looking at those lights and comparing them to your radar, trying to see if you can identify them. And you see radar hits that don't have lights, so you're trying to identify them, and you're just so busy concentrating on things that I never had a chance to get tired. So I'm still wide awake, and it's almost time for Marie to come back and relieve me. So that's a good thing. At least I know falling asleep isn't going to be the problem.